welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a pattern review on two different patterns from Simplicity. I am definitely loving this line of baby products that they have, and I thought that I would do a review of these patterns because I'm finding that a lot of people are probably going to be having COVID-19 babies. And if you are not having a baby, you are probably someone who knows of someone who's going to be having a baby. So I'm thinking that it's a great time to go find a couple of patterns, with Simplicity having a pattern sale here at Hobby Lobby this week and the week after at Joann's. They are $1.99, so it's a great time to pick up some new patterns and try something new and make it as a gift for someone, or you can make it for yourself, for your little baby that's coming to you. So the first one I want to talk about is Simplicity 1177. I did this probably, I want to say 4 years ago. I am the mom of 3-year-old twins, and I definitely wanted to do things for my kids. And so this is when I first started sewing. I got this pattern. I had no idea how to be able to sew, and I felt that it was a little bit basic in the beginning for around the pattern, but some of the details were not so great. So what it ended up doing was going to Joann's, and I signed up for a class. And they had a class where you could ask any question about any pattern for a 3-hour duration. And so I took my project in, and I showed the teacher what I was wanting to do. And even for her of 25 years, it was a little bit challenging, but we realized just by looking at what the outcome needed to be is that we could definitely put this together. Sometimes you just have to figure out what it's supposed to look like, and then you just kind of go backwards and turn it inside out and then sew it, and then it all comes together. So Simplicity 1177, and this is just one of the covers that I made. I actually made this reversible and a little bit gender neutral because I have twins, as I said, and I have one girl and I have one boy. So I wanted to make sure everything wasn't pink, and that if I put my son in a car seat, that he wasn't sitting in pink floral car seat cover. So this is what I made, and like I said, it's two-sided. I'll turn it over for you. And I really like the jungle theme. And so I did this. Of course, I used Minky and then also got the material from Joann's. And I only used a yard or a yard and a quarter. It was very inexpensive. And so, like I said, basically it was a very basic pattern, just a couple of steps. There's 2 steps actually that are a little bit more advanced, but it's only because I didn't know the power of YouTube, and I could have probably Googled those instructions and found it the same. It was just difficult understanding what they were saying is turning this part of the fabric over in the instructions, on instruction I think 14 through 16. The other thing that I made, of course, it's on view DF. It shows a Pacifier Tether, and I made a ton of those. Unfortunately, it ended up that my kids were not pacifier babies, but I made them just for fun, just because I was new to sewing and I wanted to just try out my sewing skills. And hey, it was fun to have a couple of scraps that I could use and see what I could make with it. And so I really enjoyed that. That was view D, and then on view F, I also made a blanket to match using the turquoise Minky, and also the same wilderness or jungle theme on the opposite side. And I thought that was the easiest pattern that I'd ever done. It's basically put 2 wrong sides together of a 30 by 30, sew it, leave a 4-inch opening, turn it out, and then stitch it closed. That was so easy. I did that in under 30 minutes. And what I loved about it is that as a new sewist, it gave me the confidence that I could make something really beautiful. And I thought that it would just be something that I would make, and then I would just say, okay, this is the first thing I made, and throw it away. But I realized a couple years later, my son was going down for a nap, and that was the first blanket that I'd ever made for him. And I had given that to him ever since he was an infant and put it on his car seat. And when one day, a couple years later, he wanted to take a nap, all he was doing was fussing and making it sound like he wanted something. And I realized that he didn't have his regular blanket. So although I thought it was my first blanket I was ever gonna make, and I was just gonna trash it and say that I was gonna throw it away, it actually turned out to this day, he's 3.5 years old, it's his favorite blanket, and so we can't go anywhere without it. The other thing I did was I also did View E and G, which is the nursing cover, and also the burp rags, which were also really easy. The nursing cover, it was so easy. I made 3 of them in probably a couple of hours. There again, front and back, leave a 4-inch opening and then close it, and that was very easy. Now I didn't make the backpack because I had another pattern that I was using at the time for a backpack, and I can talk about that in another review. And I also didn't use what I think they're calling here is the Diaper Changer. I again used another pattern from a private company, not a Simplicity or McCall's or a big commercial one, that I found was a lot easier for a new sewist because it also came with a video tutorial, which I loved. Not because I didn't know how to sew very well, but I'm just a person who likes to learn by you just show me the steps and then I will just duplicate that, and I pick it up quite easily. It just, for me, it takes longer to read through the pattern, read through the instructions, see what they're anticipating, and then for me to try to implement the words that they're stating on the pattern. And so like I said, if you just show it to me, I'm good. I don't normally read a pattern. I'll just look it up on a YouTube video if I have any questions about it. So those are the ones I did on that one. This here is a bag that I made for my daughter that I, as you can see, has her name on it, that I made for taking this to the hospital, for taking baby home, and I really love this one. There again, this is another video tutorial from a private company, and I love it because I could put anything I wanted as far as the pockets, and it taught me how to use mesh, and it taught me how to make bias binding. So those were some techniques that I learned that I really enjoyed, and so I've made several of these and I really love them. The pattern is really easy, and I've had just so many people look at these and say, oh my gosh, I just love those, and where did you get that? And I just say, oh, I made it. Another pattern review that I want to go over is Simplicity 1151. I again have had this for several years. I'm not even sure it's in print anymore. I do recall getting this one at Goodwill for 49 cents, and I've used this one quite a bit. I have used the bumpers and also for the crib sheet, which I thought was super easy, and also for a blanket. So I didn't use the blanket as the ruffle. I actually purchased a ruffle, so I didn't do that. But I wanted to show you how this could transition from being bumpers to all the way up to toddler. So basically, this started out being a bumper at the end, on the short end of the crib for my baby. And so what happened is that as she grew, over 6 to 9 months old, I decided that she did not need those bumpers anymore. But what we did need was a what they call a bite rail to protect the kids when they're teething, and so they'll be biting the edge of the rail. And so what I did, because I didn't want to start over and throw it away, because this is the colors in her room that I already had, is I just folded this in half, and I took my snaps and I made snaps. I put snaps on here and I just closed it. And so now this sits on the outside, so cute. And this is a cover for the cot. It's a cot rail cover or a crib cover, whichever you like to call it. And then also I did this design. This one's a little bit used. I did this one, and I can turn it in half as well if you didn't want to do the ruffles and you wanted a pattern that's a little bit more simple. It's just front and back of 2 pieces of material. Leave a 4-inch opening and then turn it around and then sew it up. So this one is the same. Put this on the end of the crib, so I use that. So what I really loved about the Simplicity 1151 is it didn't just start out as a baby project or as an infant project. I could still use it even now. I put it on my daughter's toddler bed when we transitioned into a toddler bed for her, because I was concerned that she was going to hit her head as she was sleeping at night. So around the toddler bed, I went ahead and put this padding as well. So I've had this for, I want to say 4 years. So this was a great investment. So the 49 cents that I paid for this and the Simplicity 1177 that I paid $1.99 for has been a great investment, something that you can keep and reuse for many years. So I have other baby items to come. I am all baby right now. My oldest daughter, who's an adult, is having her second baby. Okay, so I am helping her decorate her nursery for her new baby that's coming. And we've picked out a lot of fabrics and we're just putting them all together. And so I will be doing a lot of sewing of the Boppy nursing covers, the car seat cover, the crib bumpers, the fitted sheets, the changing table bumpers, and the nursing cover, and also car seat cover, and also a stroller cover. So I am doing a lot. So go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that when I put those videos out, you're able to see those. If you're interested in learning new techniques, or if you've never sewn before, you'll definitely want to watch these videos because they are just awesome. You can use them in so many different places. You can make them and use them as gifts. Car seat covers are great because you can take them off and you can wash them as needed. Don't forget to like or subscribe to this video so you can know when my new videos are ready to come out.